Rot turns towards your giant formed up robot and begins to flick vines towards you like whips. What do you do?
Using my lower view in the cockpit and the tail that I'm controlling with the joystick, I swat them away with the tail of the Mechazord.
Swat, swat, swat. What does Yellow do? What does Alex do?
I do the same thing as everyone else does. Because we're in the Zord together. Totally synced up. So yeah, no, that's a good question. Do we still use our regular turns, our heavy turns, and our light turns?
Yep, you still use all that.
Okay. Let's display an agile fighting technique. And
Excellent.
We're going to do one of those kickstands where you like plant your feet and you like cartwheel kick your feet, and it's gonna double whack him in the pumpkin head. Smash.
All right. Yeah, the giant robot cartwheels, kicking Rot in that pumpkin head, and you see rotten cracks begin to form in its dome. The ground quakes as you land on your feet. What does Braxton do?
I don't know how much damage I want to do to this town.
It'll all be undone by the temporal glitter field. Don't worry about that.
Okay, Braxton, trust in yourself. Now's your time to shine.
Oh, thanks. All right, so Braxton is going to, as this fight kind of stumbles through, the blows are being thrown by these massive things back and forth, and Braxton will just use the mighty whatever Megazord, whatever we're calling this thing, to grab a large, like, empty school bus and use it as a bat and try to crack open the pumpkin's head.
You swing the school bus and you hear this sick thud as it hits this wet, rotting pumpkin. Squish. And embed itself slightly in his dome. Bree.
Go for the head. That's the weak spot.
Bree is taking the brunt of her teammates' burdens by using the wings to maintain our Zord's balance and then also sort of lift us up off the ground to minimize the damage done to the town. And I'm going to take this back.
Excellent. So that's one of your light turns?
Yep.
Perfect. That means I get to use a heavy turn. The pumpkin, as it begins to crack, you see this goo oozing out from it. It drips down. You see the seeds fall to the ground and bury themselves under the earth. The goo seeping into the ground, and where those seeds bury themselves, new vines come out and add even more bulk to Rot's shape as it sturdies itself and the ground beneath you becomes unstable. Rowan, what do you do?
Oh, I think it's time to pull out the ultimate attack. As the squad turn. Things are looking dire.
Yeah. Let's give him pumpkin to talk about.
Oh, Jesus.
I had to Google that.
As you prepare your ultimate attack, all four of you in sync and Clover doing whatever Clover does with the tail. What do you all do? What does the move look like as you summon your sword and shield and take Rot out?
Because it's all our gemstones together, We call it the rainbow disconnection.
Ooh.
Oh, I like that.
I like it.
I'm here for it.
And since we're kind of seated, I think everybody in sync is, they got the arm moves that come down, and it's time for the rainbow disconnection.
And your giant robot does it as well, except when you do this, you put its hands together. As they separate, the sword and shield form on in those hands, and it's this giant rainbow sword made of the 5 different colors. You see that there's a center bit that is missing. It looks like it could fit 2 more colors. And the shield, it's thin. It looks like there's space on either side. And what does this ultimate move look like? What is the rainbow disconnection?
It's got to be something like.
Yeah, there's like a clang of the sword and shield together to make some noise as well. I believe. I think.
Yeah.
Out or something, some kind of scream is part of this light beam that's going to shoot forth. And so you push the 2 weapons together to make a noise, and then we had the arms come out in a rainbow, right? So you got to come back like this and then swirl around and point the sword with a shield overhead, and then the light beam shoots out. Pyrotechnics go off, little sparks start exploding everywhere.
We've got to cut the rainbow though. After we take it out,
yeah,
it's got to slice through the
and
rainbow
down
to Abe.
Yeah, and then Rowan
kind of. It's gathering all of that energy into it.
Yeah, all the rest of the light, it goes into that horrible 80s cyberscape. So it's all black except for little wires, because all the light has been sucked into the rainbow disconnection.
Perfect. And as you bring that energy down on top of Rot, there's this explosion from inside. The goo just goes everywhere, burning up, and little bits of what used to be Rot rain down over the town, along with the green glitter. And on the moon, Rust, in her rusty armor with her general by her side, says, "No!" as she was watching this all on a tiny hologram projection of the town.
The hologram zooms in close to our Megazord's face, and you can hear Rowan say, "Pumpkin spice. Nah, more like pumpkin sliced."
Yeah!
We all celebrate!
And her general says, "We'll do better next time when we send our greatest minion yet." And he begins laughing, and she backhands him. "Next time it will be you down there. And you'll face those gem guardians by yourself." We cut to a few days later. At school. What do we see Braxton doing?
I think, okay, I just remembered the glitter reset everything, right? So we have to worry about the town cleanup or anything. Our glitter bomb.
I mean, I think there are some things that happen. I think the principal's car mysteriously disappeared.
We missed it with the glitter temporal because we were too close to the town.
Yeah. Oh.
I think we see Braxton. Yeah, I think we see Braxton back in the library with Mr. McGillicuddy. And he's got a whiteboard with all these notes, a timeline, because I know we just saved the day, but that musical still has to happen, and Braxton will not have a historically inaccurate story being told at his school. He won't stand for it. So he has notes, references, timelines. It looks like a crazy person's chart with the red lines connecting everything. He's like, "Okay, Mr. McGillicuddy, I think this 14th rewrite is going to be the one that works. You and I will crack this code. We'll get it. If it's 15, 16 rewrites, you and I will write the best High School Musical Mechanicsville has ever seen.
If you say so, Braxton, I see this as going to be an award-winning season.
Alex comes by in the background with a vest full of stuff and just hands them both coffees as they walk by on to their next thing.
Thanks, Alex.
Thanks. You're the best.
And where does our camera follow Alex?
Alex goes back to the stagehand area, back to the stage manager area with the props and pulleys. Not that I did that in high school. I did. And they've set up a really nice craft table, not using the food pantry stuff, but using stuff from the cafeteria, and any leftovers go to the food pantry and the senior citizens. So that's their stop after school. But they've got like a walkie-talkie on one shoulder and like a roll of duct tape and safety pins and like rope. I don't know why they need rope, but they need rope. And they're calling cues on a headset at the same time too, because obviously they're going to end up being the stage manager.
You hear
action.
You hear scattered applause from the front of the stage where they're doing rehearsals right now. And James comes around the back and sees you with all this stuff and says, "Wow, Alex, thank you so much for helping out with this. I knew you would help more than anybody else in our class."
James, you're going places. I'm here for you.
You're coming places with me.
I don't know about that. You gotta get on stage. You're gonna miss your line. It's you and Rowan's big scene.
I'm back in. All right. See you later. And our camera follows James back out to the front of the stage and moves through the auditorium where we see just a few people sitting in the stands. The person directing it, whose name I've forgotten after 5 episodes of this, and moves out into the hallway. Where we see Bree. What's Bree doing? School's just ended.
Bree has like 3 different boxes in her arms of like costumes that were coming from the theater classroom. The script rewrites that Braxton keeps doing in one box that she's not sure which one is the right one, but she's just going to take them all to Alex anyway. And then one more box just full of like different craft supplies for the craft table, of course, because we need more things. And she's like struggling to make it around corners and through people while she's carrying these things.
And you can barely see over the other side of them, but you see top of somebody's head, and you feel some of that burden taken away from you. And you see Penny has grabbed one of the boxes, and she says, "Hey, let me help you with that."
Thank you. Yeah, sure.
And you, the two of you, walk into the auditorium, and you don't see as you walk in, Penny behind you, that Penny is looking at you like she suspects something. Where's Rowan?
Rowan would normally be at soccer practice now, but as the camera is following the boxes coming back in to the rehearsal space, it comes back up over the rehearsal taking place on stage and heads backstage. And off in a corner, there's Rowan, all dressed in black with a big collar. And he looks around nervously as he pulls this black hood over his head and kind of cinches it so that no one can see. And prepares for his chance to be the headless horseman.
He cinches his hood over, and somebody behind him places the pumpkin head on his head.
Yeah.
And where do we see Clover?
Clover is in the secret base underneath the town, tending to the last bits of temporal realignment.
The former Silver Ranger, Silver Guardian, who you know as Uncle Mac, is guiding you through the specifics of temporal realignment. The camera pans across this vast space where we see these sort of cryogenic tubes. One of them frosty. The silver and pink and red, blue, black, green, and yellow behind these large frosty panes, and it moves over into one of these little corners where we see a little seed that had sunk through the ground with some acid in the fight, and it sprouts a little eyeball and it looks around the space. And that's the end.
What?
Cliffhanger.
Of course it's a cliffhanger. Everything's a cliffhanger. All right. So.
That's my vote. Penny is the new Pink Ranger.
Oh, wow.
Oh, I like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was Henshin. I hope you guys all had fun playing.
It was great.
That was super fun.
The next thing that you
definitely
do in one of these games, because normal people play campaigns, which we don't do here on Lone Gamers the Apocalypse, but we decide who gets a raise, who gets to power up more, who gets to make their weapon or armor or robot even better in the next episode. So I would like to start on the left and move to the right on my screen and ask you each which task you were trying to accomplish this game. And we're going to start with Seppy. Task or tasks, if you were trying to do two.
Throw inexperience or ineptitude at a problem and see what sticks.
Okay. All right.
I did a lot of that.
Dwayne, what was Braxton's task?
The one I was trying to do was prove that brain trumps brawn. I wasn't trying to directly combat anybody pushing the dumpster, throwing the shield. I wasn't trying to show that I was a super strong or anything, trying to use geometry and all that kind of stuff.
That's pretty good. All right. SJ, what was Alex's task?
Oh my gosh, I was trying to do 3 at the same time because I'm an overachiever.
That is sort of classic yellow.
Yeah. This is why I'm the Yellow Ranger. They were trying to talk out the boat issue. We really needed to talk that out.
And that didn't happen.
Didn't happen. They were also diffusing tense situations with insider humor, and I chose humor. And then very briefly, I was trying to play with observing who is doing what and with whom.
Okay.
Yeah.
What task was Rowan trying to accomplish?
I enjoyed trying to do almost all of them, but I focused in on eagerly shine the spotlight on your teammates too.
That is not only a very Rowan task. I feel like that's an Andrew in general when playing RPGs task.
I try.
All right, and
Were we all
Erica,
suited?
what was that?
Were we all suited to our rangers?
Seems like yeah. Erica, what was Bree's task?
Bree was doing 2 tasks. She was attempting to defend those she cares about at any cost and oblige herself to others even if she will let them down.
Great. All right, so now the hard part, we vote on who best accomplished or attempted to accomplish their tasks. What do you think?
Voting.
Yeah.
Is this the ballot?
Whatever order you want.
Don't we type in the chat and then everybody hit return at the same time?
We can do that.
Yeah.
No,
I'll turn a game into anything.
Okay.
Sure. Everything's a
That's what I
game.
do. Everything's a game.
But then we have to read them out and say it at the same time too, just so Mark's audio gets real.
Yeah, no. I'll give you the 3, 2, 1 like we did before, and then I will read them out once you all press enter.
Okay.
That's right. I make him read my stuff all the time.
Okay. 3, 2, 1, go. Okay. SJ voted for Andrew, aka Rowan. Erica voted for Seppy, aka Clover. Seppy voted for Andrew. Rowan. Andrew voted for Seppy. Braxton, Dwayne voted for Erica. And I didn't vote. And I guess I have to break the tie.
You do.
Okay. My first thought was for Clover because you threw ineptitude at
It
a
was
lot of
real. Yeah, that was
It
real
was
close.
very real.
And thematically, I think it works with your green mech being slightly damaged by the acid goo, because now you have the opportunity to repair it and make it better.
Actually, I'm gonna take my raise, which
Yeah.
is retire your character, and I'm going to use the energy from retiring my character to resurrect the Silver Ranger, because it was my fault. It was my prank that got us onto the boat for the boating accident.
But I think what ends up happening is that when you attempt to do that, you become the Silver Ranger, because that's what always happens. That is what happens when you retire your characters. You become a new character. And the Silver Ranger in particular is interesting. I think, if I remember correctly, is they have something to do with like transcending their previousness. So maybe you
You leveled up emotionally too.
You leveled up
Well,
emotionally.
I was crazy. All the timey-wimey stuff probably had in me have a screw loose. That's probably, yeah.
Excellent.
I'm sure Uncle
Well-
Mac told you that he taught you everything he could teach you as the Green Ranger.
Yeah.
Well, Andrew, thank you for saying my screwball line. That's why I voted for you. You said it.
It was perfect.
Thank you to everyone who is watching Lone Gamers of the Apocalypse. We will be back next time for more indie and small publisher RPGs. Thank you all for playing. This is exciting to have this many people on.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This was a blast.
Okay.
You know I love doing anything you ask me to do.
See you next time.
Thanks.